Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings. I've got my sunglasses on because my eyes are so puffy. I'm beginning to think this is a combination of a head cold and hay fever. It's driving me crazy, quite frankly. This video is all about sugars, okay? Firstly, I would like to give a shout out to a wonderful YouTube channel called The Vintage Read Show. She's brilliant. She's, I don't know if she owns a bookstore or something, but she does book reviews. She's a charming lady, very attractive. She has wonderful presentation, excellent diction. Of course, you know, she's into books. I'm not very good at reading books, and she's been doing reviews of Spare or Where. Now, this is really for the benefit of new YouTubers, okay? Most of the time, everything's fine, but occasionally we get swarms of sugars coming along. So this is also for the benefit of the paid trolls and the sugars. Apparently, she's had this, okay? Take no notice, take no notice. I too have had a swarm lately. Of the most bizarre comments. I mean, they're bizarre. If anyone's paying these trolls or robots, you are wasting your money. They're ridiculous comments. So I have a question for all of you. This is for the benefit of Meghan and Meghan's fans and her PR company, if they watch these channels. Does it make you like Meghan when you read comments like about personal attributes of YouTubers? Does it make you like Meghan when these vicious, toxic little comments come along and have a go at you? Or does it have quite the reverse effect? Does it make you think, when will this rule of tyranny come to an end? When will the money run out? Does it make you think, I'm glad that we're all here together? Subscribers, commenters, Meg's channels, I'm glad we're all in it together and we're all seeing the same thing. We're all seeing the vicious toxicity, the very opposite of what Meghan herself promotes. Her canefulness and mainfulness. So does it make you like her? Because it doesn't make me like her. Every time I start thinking, she's a human being, you know, she's a nice girl, I see this shit and I just think, pull yourself together, Fiona. Pull yourself together, have a read of this. I know there are genuine people out there who support Meghan and love Meghan for their own reasons, who are genuine fans. They're not being paid by anybody. They like her, they love her, and they're here on this channel, and they engage and they talk respectfully to people who criticise her and don't like her so much. But the paid trolls, they're awful. Do you know, I saw a comment on the Daily Mail, I think it was last year, about something criticising the royal family and this robot, and it had to be a robot. Because a lot of you say, how can you identify a bot from a troll, from a human being? This bot said, oh yeah, and Princess Diana went to that red carpet event last night with a handbag that cost £15,000. And I'm like, oh bless, somebody didn't program the little robot and explain Princess Diana died in 1997. That must have been a cheap bot. What a waste of money. But take no notice, Vintage. Take no notice. You are doing a fantastic job. Presumably, when Harry wrote a book, he wanted people to read the book, and people might do book reviews. Or is that against the rules? Is that against one of the 11 commandments? You must worship Meghan Markle and no less will do. Is that it? Is that it? Now, the woman, in my opinion, is mentally ill. Whether she's paying for this or not, I don't know. I would imagine if Hitler was alive today, and I'm not likening Meghan to Hitler, but let's go along with someone else who was quite unpopular. He probably would have had troll farms and bot farms. I dare say his PR might have been a bit smoother, but I don't suppose it would have made his idea about gas chambers any more popular by paying lots and lots of trolls and bots. You know, it just astonishes me that anybody out there, who the hell is paying for these people? And why bother? And, I mean, who needs us Megxit channels to make Meghan hated? With friends like that, who needs enemies, eh? She just makes herself, well, perhaps it's not her. I often wondered if it's actually someone in Kensington Palace. Could it be Jason Knorr? He's paying these weird Meghan fanatical trolls and bots to go out saying vicious things in order to make her more unpopular. I don't think so. No, it's someone on her team. It's someone who supports her. And they make the most ridiculous comments. Things like, I'm unsubscribing and so is my daughter and my sister and my neighbour's cat. Fuck off then. Like they were subscribed in the first place. They just come out with these ludicrous statements. Another one said, and I've had this a lot, they can't understand anything I say, so I'm not sure I'm speaking English. I'm a dribbling mess. It's incomprehensible. And then they go on to say this is a hate channel. Well, if they can't understand it, how can they understand whether it's a hate channel, a love channel, a critical channel? And I believe that Vintage has had exactly the same thing. Now, we get this from time to time. I believe when somebody comes into a little bit of money and goes, release the bots, release the trolls. So maybe that's the case. I don't know. I honestly don't know who's paying for these lunatics. And I don't know if any other YouTube channels have recently had swarms. But this one definitely has, and I was very interested to see that Vintage also has, because she's got to be one of the most inoffensive YouTube channels out there. She doesn't swear, she has excellent diction, she speaks very clearly, she explains so well, and she deserves to have more subscribers, and I wish her all the luck in the world and support. Pop on over the Vintage Read Show, and I'll put a link in the description, because there's all these different Megxit channels popping up all the time, when initially there were only a few. But now there are so many, and they're all different people, all coming at it from different angles. Harry and Meghan have put themselves out there on the world stage. They've done it on Oprah, she did it in The Cut. They've done it on Netflix, doesn't get bigger than that, well, apart from Oprah. He's written a book about his todger, etc., etc. They have put themselves out there on the world stage. That is going to make them talking points. What do they expect? Just adoration? Because I don't, not here on this channel. And I love reading your comments when I've got the time, and I will catch up on them, I will. I love reading your comments, and sometimes you're like, oh no, I really don't agree with that, no, I'm not into that, and I think this, and a lot of you say stuff and I think, oh, I hadn't thought of that, that's brilliant, and then you give me ideas and I look in a certain place and I find you're absolutely right. And that's how communities and societies grow. They don't grow through having dictatorial troll farms and bot farms and sugars. Oh, and some of you have asked, where does the term sugar come from? Well, as far as I'm concerned, I always used to see them as a bag of little jelly babies with angry faces on. So sugary, suckery sweet when they're talking about their mistress, their grand empress, Meghan Markle, and yet can turn so sour and vicious when somebody even says, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure about this girl. You're a hater, you racist, and you're fat and ugly, and nobody likes you, and everyone's going to unsubscribe. Thoughts, opinions? What would your PR advice be for Meghan? Apart from disappearing to Mars, perhaps Elon Musk can send her to the moon.